Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for THV-11 News at Noon. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Last night, House lawmakers began hearings on the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. What you need to know today. And today we're exploring common misconceptions people have about patients with early-stage Alzheimer's disease and other dementia. What patients living with the disease want others to know. Plus, we have a look at what you can watch in theaters and at home this weekend. But before we get to those stories making headlines, Scott Covert, it's been a stormy day across parts of the state. When can we expect some sunshine to roll in?
You know, I think some of us are going to see a little bit of sunshine later this afternoon. Not much, but enough to see those temperatures warm up. Now, for many of us, the rain has come to an end here at the noon hour, but others in southern Arkansas still seeing that widespread heavy rain, but it's moving off towards the southeast, as you can see, pretty quickly. With that said, there is a few strikes of lightning, thus you're probably hearing a few rumbles of thunder in places like Hamburg and Monticello, Warren Banks and Hampton. And while you're going to be dealing with the rain for probably the next hour or so, you should see it taper off here shortly. Later this afternoon, we will see a few breaks in the clouds, which could result into those temperatures warming to about 80 degrees, still certainly cooler than it has been over recent days. And we have another chance of some rain late tonight. And of course, coming up, we'll take a look at that forecast. Here's what you need to know about your Saturday. May have a few showers tomorrow morning, but by and large, the day it's going to be fantastic. It gets hot, it gets humid quickly on Sunday, and that warming trend takes us into the mid to upper 90s with triple-digit heat indexes likely most next week. Tomorrow morning, 69 in Little Rock, 88 in the afternoon, warming all the way to 94 on Sunday. We'll take a look at your extended forecast coming right up.
Thanks, Scott. The House Select Committee has begun a series of hearings designed to show the evidence of its investigation into the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with more.
Showing new video and releasing new details. The Select Committee investigating the January 6th U.S. Capitol attack began laying out its case against former President Donald Trump.
January 6th was the culmination of an attempted coup.
Donald Trump oversaw and coordinated a sophisticated 7-part plan to overturn the presidential election and prevent the transfer of presidential power.
Committee Vice Chair Liz Cheney said the former president did not make a single call to law enforcement to protect the Capitol. Then Vice President Mike Pence did.
That day, it was just hours of hand-to-hand combat.
Capitol Police Officer Caroline Edwards, who suffered a traumatic brain injury, described the Capitol as a war zone that day.
I mean, I saw friends with blood all over their faces. I was slipping in people's blood.
The next hearing is scheduled for Monday. The committee says it will show the former president's inner circle told him claims of election fraud were false.
I made it clear I did not agree with the idea of saying the election was stolen and putting out this stuff, which I told the president was.
I respect Attorney General Barr. So I accepted what he was saying.
But Vice Chair Cheney says Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry and multiple GOP congressmen sought presidential pardons for their roles in attempting to overturn the election.
We have the documentation.
House GOP leaders have called the investigation political and illegitimate. CBS News spoke to Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger, one of 2 Republicans on the panel.
History is going to judge this time. And people are picking sides right now on what side of history they want to be judged on.
The committee expects to release its full report this fall after several more hearings this month. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Trump responded on social media saying, quote, "The rush on the Capitol was not caused by me. It was caused by a rigid and stolen election," end quote. An arrest has been made in connection with the shooting we told you about earlier this week at the Chapel Ridge Apartments in Benton. Benton police say they arrested a 17-year-old male shortly after the Monday night shooting of a 13-year-old female victim. A warrant has been issued for a second shooter who is facing felony, battery, terroristic act, riot, and gun possession charges. Police need your help finding the man on your screen. Take a good look. This man is 52-year-old Edward Eugene Hill. Police tell us he should be considered armed and dangerous and should not be approached. If you see him or know his location, you're asked to contact Benton PD. And this afternoon, a woman is in the hospital this afternoon after being shot just before 9 o'clock last night. Little Rock police responded to an apartment complex on Labette Manor Drive. That's near Canis and John Barrow Road. Police say the woman remains in serious condition. So far, no one's been arrested. This morning, a 23-year-old shooting suspect is behind bars after opening fire at a machine plant where he was employed. 3 people were killed and 1 person was injured in the shooting. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says the suspect and a state trooper were also wounded during a shootout. Traffic is finally moving freely along Interstate 30 between Malvern and Arkadelphia after one of the worst crashes that area has ever seen. Here's a live look from the RDOT camera at Friendship, close to where the deadly pileup happened on Wednesday. There were huge backups as the stretch of interstate was closed more than 24 hours while RDOT crews repaired and repaved the highway. The crash and resulting fire was so bad it melted and buckled the pavement. 3 people died, 20 vehicles were involved, including 8 semi-trucks. RDOT says Wednesday's heavy rain played a part in the chain reaction crash. A baby missing since 1981 has been found and is alive and well. Holly Klaus went missing after her parents were murdered in Houston. That case is still open, and the Texas Attorney General's office says the family who raised Klaus aren't considered suspects. Klaus is expected to meet with her biological family soon. 2 people were rescued Thursday after becoming trapped in a chocolate tank at a M&M Mars facility in Pennsylvania. At this time, it is unclear how the 2 people fell into the tank of chocolate at the Mars Wrigley confectionery facility. Both people have been taken to the hospital. This morning, we woke up to a new milestone for gas prices in Arkansas. Overnight, the statewide average climbed above $4.50 a gallon for the first time ever. Currently at $4.51 for regular, according to AAA, and the national average is now over $5, something that's never happened before either. Just 1 year ago, gas in Arkansas was nearly $2 a gallon cheaper. And right now, all of us are wondering, is there a way the state can give us a break with these prices? The answer is yes, but not by much. We're talking about the Arkansas motor fuel tax, or gas tax. The Arkansas gas tax right now is 24.5 cents a gallon for gasoline and 28.5 for diesel. What we want to know is what would happen if it was suspended, and how could it be suspended? Those with the state's motor fuel tax section tell us there are some misconceptions when you go to fill up, because the Arkansas gas tax actually isn't being paid while you pump. The state taxes at the wholesale level, not as drivers or service stations. The tax you are paying, though, is the federal gas tax. Since Arkansas fuel is taxed at the wholesale level, the price for us at the pump could decrease if the legislature suspended the tax, but it's not a guarantee, and it would take the legislature to make a change like that. If they ever decided to, the ones who would be affected immediately is the Arkansas Department of Transportation.
It's one of our main streams of revenue, which allows us to basically maintain the current 16,000 plus miles of highway we have, the 12,000 bridges that we're responsible for. It's a main source of our revenue.
The Arkansas motor fuel tax, or gas tax, right now is 24.5 cents a gallon for gasoline and 28.5 for diesel. The federal gas tax is a few cents lower at 18.4 cents a gallon. And this morning, North Little Rock's Lehman Library and Lehman Plaza are set to reopen. It's been closed 2 days after we first told you about a sewage problem on Tuesday. Crews finished emergency sewer repairs on Thursday. The library will have normal times today, and all events will continue as planned. Now, some fun news for any anglers or anyone wanting to give it a test run. Arkansas's free fishing weekend kicks off in just a few hours. Starting right now, anybody, even tourists, can fish in Arkansas lake, river, or public pond without a fishing license or permit. It runs until midnight on Sunday. The Game and Fish Commission's 4 warm water hatcheries will also host family fishing derbies tomorrow morning, and there are 30 other fishing derbies scheduled around the state Saturday. You can get more details when you text the word FISH to 501-376-1111. Now, as we approach the final days of the Special Olympics USA Games, Team Arkansas is bringing in more and more medals. They start competition today with 60 medals. Check this out: 20 gold, 15 silver, and 25 bronze medals. The Arkansas softball, tennis, and soccer teams are moving ahead to play for a medal today. We'll keep you updated on how the teams do here on THV 11. Now just ahead, we're talking about the stigma surrounding Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. A couple shares their story when the News at Noon returns. Scott.
For many of us, the rain has come to an end. For others in South Arkansas, heavy rain continues. I'll have a look at your weekend forecast as well as those hot temperatures on the way coming up.